You can also listen to us on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/theclockcleaners.
Hello and welcome to the Clock Cleaners Podcast. I'm Matt.
And I'm Keith.
And today we'll be recapping Raw from May 22nd.
Yes, we are 2 weeks away from Extreme Rules. Well, a little over 2 weeks, right?
No.
Under 2 weeks?
A little under 2 weeks.
Ah,
yes.
crap. Man,
That works.
these pay-per-views
Raw's
are...
on Monday. Pay-per-views are on Sunday.
Yeah, well...
So that means that there's no way that it could be 2 weeks away.
Oh, I said over 2 weeks.
Yeah, so...
If it was under 2 weeks, yeah.
It's less.
All right.
Less.
Jeez.
13 days.
Yeah. These pay-per-views are too close together.
12 days. 12 days.
Okay.
That's
All right,
stupid
Mr.
Usos.
Uso.
Usos promo.
All right, anyway.
Weird.
So, Raw from 5/22.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So it starts off with Bray Wyatt coming down to the ring, saying that he's going to be the one to slay the beast.
Yes.
When we all know that he will not be the one to slay the beast.
Why not, man? I'm going to slay the beast. Yeah. He probably is going to be the one to take the pin.
Oh, absolutely. No, he definitely will be.
Fair enough. I mean,
And then he goes, he says that he's going to be the one to beat Brock Lesnar.
yes.
And then he goes through how he's going to destroy each of the 4 other competitors. One by one, he goes through them. I think he goes, well, except for Samoa Joe. I don't think he says anything about Joe. Because I know first he does say that there's 4 people he'll take down, but I think he specifically cites Rollins and Balor, and then he gets to Reigns, and then Reigns comes out.
Right, yeah.
I think that's how that went.
No, you're probably right. Yeah, well, that's definitely how it went, but I don't know if he talked about Joe.
I would assume not, because, heels gotta stick together.
I guess.
But yeah, Roman comes down the ring and says that he's going to kick him out of his yard.
Yeah.
Because apparently we take our little phrases too seriously.
Did you see his new T-shirt?
Who, Reigns?
Yeah.
No.
It has a picture of him jumping, doing the Superman punch on the front, and on the back I think it says "It's my yard" or something like that.
Perfect. I like
it.
Perfect.
Honestly, when I saw the front of the shirt, I thought it was AJ going for the phenomenal forearm.
That would make sense.
But
similar actions.
And then I saw the back, and I was like, nope.
Well, you got to remember, Roman Reigns and AJ do not look anything alike.
It wasn't an actual picture of them. It was just an outline. Yeah. I guess I should have been more specific.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, Roman Reigns
obviously,
is
I would
longer
easily get the two confused.
Yes, because AJ Styles is short with the mom haircut, and Roman Reigns is big with the...
What did I ever do when they feuded? Did I just keep getting them confused? That was Extreme Rules last year.
Yeah, I can't tell them apart.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, so, Wyatt thinks that Roman's yard is insignificant.
Because he's the ruler of the world or whatever.
He's got the whole world in his hands.
Yeah.
Keeps on singing that stupid song over.
You love it. Shut up.
But yeah, they're, I guess, going to fight, and then Angle comes out and says, well, if you guys want to fight, we'll make a match now.
Right now. Get a referee out here.
It's true. It's damn true.
Yeah. So then we got Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns. I guess they battled back and forth for a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't very... It was like for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and then Samoa Joe comes out.
Yeah, his music plays, too. It's not even like he...
It was, out. It wasn't his come through the crowd
his normal...
guest appearance.
His normal nonsense.
Yeah, and then I guess he put Reigns in the coquina clutch, right? And then is that when Reigns backed him into the corner?
Yeah.
And then he put it on Bray, right? And that's when Seth comes out?
I'm assuming that... maybe, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Because it was weird, because Seth came out, but it's not like... Because supposedly he wasn't doing it to help Reigns, he was doing it to attack Joe.
Yeah, it was...
And why Joe came out.
Got to build up for the Fatal 5-Way.
It's just funny, because he's got no real, reason to care about what those two do.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, they throw off the match, and they end up with Reigns and Rollins on top.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, instead of playing Rollins' music or Reigns' music,
They played Joe's or no? It was...
they were just playing like I guess the paper.
Oh yeah,
music.
that's right. Yes.
It was weird.
Yeah,
like,
no.
what is going on? And everyone kind of has like this weird look on their face, like they're not sure exactly what's going on.
Well, that was kind of what happened on
Later on.
No, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's similar. A miscue with the music.
Yeah. Kevin Dunn.
Exactly. But yeah, they go to commercial after that. They come back, and it's Roman and Seth arguing.
That's when they talk about, I didn't come out there to save you. I came out for Joe. Da, 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 da. Yeah. And Angle said, oh, I'm sick of you guys always fighting. Tonight's about teamwork. So it's going to be Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins versus Samoa Joe and Bray Wyatt.
Because we didn't see that coming.
Yes. And then... all of a sudden, here's some guitar playing, and all of a sudden the Drifter walks by and says, Angle goes, if you wanted my attention, or he said, you've been trying to get my attention, well, you got it. And you haven't had a match here yet. So tonight, you're going to wrestle Dean Ambrose. Yeah, so that was an interesting opponent to pick for...
Yeah, well, he is the Intercontinental Champion after all.
True.
So, definitely a different...
Yeah.
But, it's good because Dean's, not exactly a hard person to work with.
No.
So.
But it kind of...
Well. It was a little too high profile for someone's first match on the main roster?
No, but what they were going with made sense.
Oh, yeah.
So, then we cut to commercial again, and...
It was a cruiserweight match. Because they usually put the backstage segments when they're trying to get the ropes taped up.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So, but it was Arya Daivari versus Akira Tozawa.
This wasn't a very long match.
I know, but it was so weird because it was because Brian Kendrick was watching the match in the back, and he was talking to the commentators while he was watching it. It was the weirdest thing because normally the commentators are completely cut off from whoever, and I guess during or at the show. Because normally, if anything's on TV, it's on the screen. Right.
Oh, yeah.
With this, I guess it wasn't. So it was weird because they were showing Kendrick watch the match. They were talking to Kendrick, the commentators were, and he didn't have a headset or anything. It was pretty funny.
That's odd.
Yeah, breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Because at first they thought he was just talking to the camera, but it turns out he was answering, I guess, Corey Graves asking questions or whatever.
No.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tozawa ends up somehow beating Arya Daivari using a senton from the top.
Yeah, it was very quick.
Yeah,
it was probably
painful, though.
Yeah, it was probably a 3-minute match.
Yeah, it was not very long. But that's most cruisers.
Not really surprised. So next we had a backstage interview with Sasha about her match with Alicia Fox for the 3rd week in a row.
But this is when they were taking the tape off of the ropes.
Yes. And I saw a clip from this interview where guess who you saw in the background?
Oh, no, it was the Revival. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
you saw that? Yeah.
I didn't notice, but I also wasn't really paying too
much
attention.
But it kind of leads to what happens later on in the night. Maybe an assumption.
With what?
Enzo?
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because that was never resolved.
No.
Okay,
which I'm guessing will be a build-up.
Yeah, probably. But it makes sense because the two of them aren't going to be going for the titles yet.
No.
So
not with the Hardys on top.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, I think he's not back till late June, early July, possibly. Dash Wilder, that is.
Yeah. Well, who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, Sasha's like, this is my freedom match or something like that, because it's freedom from having to deal with Alicia Fox.
Nah.
It's a weird B feud, but I still think that this is only because Emma got hurt.
Yeah, I think they're really scrambling with that.
Well, because they wanted to do Emma and Dana Brooke with something.
Mm-hmm.
I guess maybe that would have led to Sasha being with them too, maybe. But since I don't think they trust Dana Brooke to...
Yeah, we probably would have gotten a lot of maybe tag matches and stuff like that. So I think last week on Main Event, Dana Brooke wrestled Nia Jax.
Really?
Which actually wasn't a squash match.
That's weird.
Yeah. It was actually decent
Well,
for a Dana Brooke match, anyway.
Usually, main event aren't squash matches. They're just
No,
matches where
but
you know
that's
who's
that's
gonna
not
win.
true. Aleister Black squashed Kurt Hawkins.
Well, but at the same time,
It's Kurt Hawkins. Yeah,
all of his matches have been squash
True.
matches too.
He's the professional loser.
Yeah, so
Very good at it.
no, not Kurt Hawkins. I'm talking about Aleister Black.
Oh,
He's hit one move on most of his opponents.
yeah, but that's usually how they build up guys in NXT anyway.
I know, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's been no non-squash match yet.
It's true.
That's what I was getting at.
Same thing pretty much with Kurt Hawkins, too.
Yeah, I guess so. At least since he came back.
Yeah.
All right, so now we came back probably from commercial. I'm assuming,
Yes.
with Elias Sampson sitting in the dark, playing his guitar,
Yes.
saying that he's going to eliminate the lunatic.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. Did he even say anything bad about the city they were in? He just like mentioned where were they? Grand Rapids, something like that.
Something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I think it just mentioned where
Yeah.
they were. But this is probably the longest he's gotten into a song too.
Oh yeah.
That's the
yeah. Because
funny
he
part.
got cut off very quick in
Yeah,
NXT.
so I guess they wanted to give him a little extra screen time.
Yeah. But yeah. So the Miz was on commentary for this match.
Yeah, it was funny
Which-
because you only know or knew because
He
you
just
saw-
started. Yeah.
You saw him when Dean was coming down to the ring.
Mhm.
Dean cut him off while he was towards the end of his song.
Yeah.
He did end up cutting off.
Good amount of heel heat. So
Yeah,
that's
what they want.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That jerk that plays the guitar.
Yeah, it was a decent match for his.
Yeah, I was very surprised with the amount of offense that.
You know, it looked like he really brought it. That's kind of what it was. He really had the intensity there.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was just kind of letting Dean control the match. He was kind of trying to.
Well, a lot of what Samson did in NXT was kind of just the backstage.
Yeah, he really didn't
stuff.
wrestle
didn't
much.
wrestle
He had a
lot.
couple squash matches, and then he was the one getting squashed other
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, so
Um,
wasn't so much of a like a big like main event or main player. in
no, yeah, which
NXT.
was weird why they called him up, but
I think it's the gimmick.
yeah,
I really like the gimmick. I don't think it mattered who was the guy. I
Right.
think they just liked the gimmick.
Which I don't even know if he's technically the Drifter anymore, because when I think Dean was down and he said, "Who wants to walk with Elias Sampson?" Usually he said, "Who wants to walk with the Drifter?" I believe in NXT.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't recall him ever saying
Nah,
that in NXT.
Fair enough.
So it could be that they going by both,
Yeah,
or you're right.
we
Either
will
way.
see. I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to do with him. Just
In
I don't
terms of
know.
story,
yeah,
because
it's
they're certainly not going to be having him feud with Dean,
no.
because this was just a continuation of Miz and Dean's feud.
Yeah, but it was pretty much back and forth through most of the match. There was one point where Dean went for the top rope, and I guess Samson started getting up. Right, he was on the ground, and I guess he was going for an axe handle, and Samson
that's
leaped in.
Dean's thing.
Yeah, Samson leaped into the air and hit him with a knee.
Yeah.
It was a pretty. It looked like it landed
Yeah,
pretty well.
That's pretty. It's pretty nasty.
Yeah,
But yeah, and then I guess Dean was getting momentum, and the Miz just
no, they were both on the ground. I think at that point.
yeah, either that or they're just getting up.
Yeah, it was one of the two.
And the Miz runs down to the ring and attacks Samson. So
Yes,
disqualified.
Corey Graves like that was brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of figured something like that was going to happen.
Well, yeah, because pretty much that's what happened.
Well, yeah, and you weren't going to have him lose his first match.
Yeah. The funny
Which is
thing
why I thought it was a little odd that they put him up against Dean, but then
Yeah.
with Miz on commentary, it made sense.
Yeah. It was kind of funny though because after the match, Samson attacked Dean as well, even though the Miz is the one who attacked him.
Right.
But you know, whatever.
So I mean, maybe we'll get some sort of tag match next week or something.
Possibly.
Just
Who would team with Dean though?
it's a hell of a question.
It's true.
Big Cass.
No. Speaking of Big Cass,
There we go.
they show him running down the hallway in the back, being with a couple of referees, And apparently Enzo
Yeah.
was on the ground. He must have gotten beaten up.
Yep.
By a mystery person.
Yeah. I guess my assumption would be it would be the Revival or
Rusev?
Rusev's on SmackDown.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
When was he on SmackDown? Exactly.
I hate you. Or it could have been the Big Cass.
No way.
Too soon?
Way too soon.
I don't know.
No way in hell.
People are really starting to hate Enzo.
It's fine. Doesn't matter.
Know
who really hates Enzo?
Who?
Corey Graves.
He does. He does. I don't know if he hates him more than he hates Samson, though.
It's probably true.
That was one of my favorite things from NXT.
Yeah. Well, him yelling at the drifter.
Oh yeah, like when they went to Australia, and he's, "How the hell did he get here?"
Anyway,
Drift onto a plane?
Yeah. So they cut the commercial while Enzo was on the ground, and they cut back, and I guess Angle, wanders over to the area. And Cass tells them, "You better figure out who did this before I do."
And then that was all we saw. That was the end of it.
Yeah, there's no conclusion or anything. So
Yeah.
I guess they're going for the long haul on this. Maybe next week someone else will get attacked, or Big Cass will get attacked, or
I don't know. Tough to say.
it's true.
Very
Only
tough
one way
to say.
find out.
It's true. We got to
You'll
keep
wait.
watching.
You wait.
So up next, it was advertised for Finn Balor versus Carl Anderson.
Yeah.
And Finn comes down to the ring, and he says that he's going to need help from the Balor Club to win at Extreme Rules, since he's got 4 other people to wrestle against. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, we hear Paul Heyman.
Yeah, there's a little bit of surprise.
Yeah. Really built Finn up. This was a fantastic promo.
Yeah.
He basically said that he ran through everybody else in the match, saying that they were all going to be victims of Brock Lesnar. Mm-hmm. But then he said, "Finn, you're not a victim." Mm-hmm. Really built him up. Basically wished him good luck. And then
shook his hand.
Yeah.
Which led to, nothing, actually. Which
yeah.
is weird.
Yeah. Well, because I guess the Gallows and Anderson's music just interrupted them as they were. Yeah, it was just kind of like how to end the segment.
Yeah.
But I guess this was just kind of a way to bring it full circle with the other 4 feuding.
Yeah.
And
well, it's keeping him involved in the story without him actively being in a match with them.
Yeah.
So there's some speculation based off of this that maybe Balor could become a Paul Heyman guy. And if they did something like that, it would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
He did that with Punk, which worked out pretty well. Curtis Axel, his best run with the company
was when he was the Intercontinental Champion, right?
Yeah. Paul Heyman. Mm-hmm. So it could be good if they do it correctly.
And I guess since Lesnar's not really on TV, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and Paul Heyman, if he's not building up Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg, it's pretty good.
That's true.
It's just that got so boring. It was the same thing over and over.
Oh, well. Yeah, and I saw rumors that had Goldberg not signed on for more matches, Jericho was going to win the Universal Championship at WrestleMania from Owens. Yeah. But
that makes sense.
Yeah, well, that's probably why they just threw him into the U.S. title, because Owens was the Universal Champion at Royal Rumble, and then he lost it at Fastlane?
Yeah, he lost it to Lesnar.
Yeah.
Not Lesnar.
Goldberg
and Lesnar.
And then,
Fastlane.
Yes.
That's the words.
Yes.
Anyway.
Then we had the Finn Balor versus Carl Anderson match. This was it was a decent match for what it was. I mean, Carl Anderson's a fantastic wrestler.
Yeah.
Which,
he just doesn't get the showcase because it's tag team wrestling in the WWE.
Right.
All they care about is like just the weird ways that they end tag matches.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Forget about it. But no squash match here, which was nice. Usually, like you said, when a singles wrestler wrestles a half of a tag team or something like that, usually it's a squash match.
Or when a singles wrestler wrestles an
entire tag team, it is a squash match. Oh, good old Roman.
It's the same tag team. It's the funny part. But a lot of the match, you saw Gallows just trying to get involved, which obviously makes sense because they're a heel tag team. So.
Yeah, and like we talked about a couple weeks ago with the whole Roman and Strowman thing about friends, you know,
Being
being outside the ring together and stuff like that.
Because during supposedly during the 24 thing, they showed that Balor and the club were all
okay.
buddy,
I didn't get to watch that yet.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Either. I just heard about it.
Yeah. There you
But yeah, Balor I guess fends off Gallows.
Yeah, I think he hit a splash on both of them on the outside. Yeah, and then Carl Anderson got rolled in the ring, and then he did the sling blade, the drop kick to the I don't know exactly.
I can't remember. It's got a word attached to it. It's like a shotgun drop kick.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
And then he hit the coup de grace.
Yep.
And for the win.
Yes, not a surprise, obviously.
Well, yeah.
But
especially when you got that ringing endorsement from Paul Heyman.
Yes, which I think more people were buzzing about that than
obviously
anything else. Yeah.
Anytime Paul Heyman says something like that, it's usually taken seriously.
Yeah, which Finn had said, "Oh, Lesnar's not here. What a surprise!" Got a pretty big pop for that.
Well, I think anything he says right now is going to be good.
Yeah,
because the fans are so far behind him. Anything that Shinsuke says is going to be good. I can't even understand him.
Okay.
Well, the funny part is that I think he does that on purpose, the way he speaks.
That's probably...
Because obviously he understands English, so I'm thinking that he speaks slowly like that to make it seem like he doesn't.
I don't know. I haven't heard him speak any other times besides
There's a few times he spoke in NXT.
Yeah, oh yeah, he had that promo when he was leaving, yeah.
And there was a few times where he spoke a lot better than he did. So,
I don't know.
Either way.
For those, all those fans like that Ginger's talking about. I think that's actually the first time Shinsuke did talk on TV. You had a lot of fans going, "What? Huh?"
It's possible.
Idiots.
Yeah.
But yeah, so up next we had our match that we've seen 2 weeks in a row.
The highly anticipated rematch. It's the rubber match between Sasha Banks and Alicia Fox.
Yep. I'm not going to lie. I think I turned around for this. I was editing Backlash, so...
Well, the match wasn't bad, Alicia Fox is actually pretty good wrestler.
She is, yeah. From what I've seen, I don't know what she did previously to her current run, I guess you could say.
Well, the thing is, she was never utilized properly because she came around during that. Women aren't really wrestling; they're kind of just there to look at that time. So even if she was good, it didn't matter.
Right.
So I guess she wasn't the one that they wanted to push. So therefore, she didn't get a push. So that's what I'm thinking was the.
That makes sense.
The reasoning behind her not really doing a whole lot.
Yeah.
And since she wasn't part of the women's revolution, technically.
She was just in the background.
Yeah, so I think she was automatically discredited.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if at some point she gets some kind of push, because she is good.
Right, yeah.
So, but
yeah, she moves pretty quick in the ring for someone that doesn't seem like they would be that experienced.
Yeah.
Just because we haven't... No, but I mean just because you haven't been exposed to what she can do.
So I really wouldn't be surprised if at some point they give her some kind of real feud or whatever. Which
she probably would have possibly been moved over to SmackDown had she not been with Dar on 205.
Yeah, probably has something to do with it. But yeah, like I said, the match was bad. Sasha ends up winning. She hits the double knees, when the opponent's laying across the turnbuckle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Not how she got the first win, where she jumped onto her with the double knees. And,
and then
I did see this part.
Yeah, for some reason, Dar comes into the ring, and he starts arguing with Sasha, and then she slaps him. And then Alicia Fox, I guess, comes from behind and starts beating up on her, hits her with that odd scissors kick to the back.
Yeah, the lower back.
Yeah, so that definitely is a weird finisher.
Yeah,
but whatever.
Yeah, next we had a backstage segment with Kalisto and Apollo Crews, which, well, I guess
Kalisto
this is...
was very disappointed in Apollo Crews' recent actions.
Yes. Which I even think he blamed him for Enzo getting hurt, too. He's asked, were you the one that hit Enzo? Yeah.
I think so.
Because of what happened. Was that last week? Or yeah, I think that was last week.
Oh, yeah, obviously. Cause that's what I was thinking it was to begin with.
Yeah.
They were feuding.
It's another obvious choice. It could be Titus, and then,
Well, honestly, if it was going to be one of the two of them, it was Titus.
Right. Well,
Apollo just doesn't know that he did it.
Right, and he's going to place the blame on Apollo or something like that.
Because right now, Apollo's kind of ignorant to what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks that Titus is actually, like, I guess, means well.
Yeah.
I don't know, the Titus...
It's funny, though.
It's funny, but it's weird. Like, it's confusing of what exactly they're going for. Like, obviously, he's a bad guy, but... Not worth speculating. It's not worth it.
I got nothing.
But yeah, so Titus walks up as the two of them are talking, and he's like, "Oh, I need some international flavor in my portfolio."
Right.
It's like
needs another source of income.
Yeah, exactly. So apparently he's pimping out small Mexican men. Interesting.
Maybe that's what Braun was doing with Kalisto, and he grabbed him to bring him home with him.
No, he just threw him in the garbage.
No, he picked him up. He said, "I'm taking him with me," or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's a different time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's when he got yelled at, and then he said, "Oh, Roman Reigns is garbage, and so are you," and then threw him in the garbage. It could have been the same segment.
It probably was.
Yeah.
So, so after Titus suggests that Kalisto helps him out, Kalisto goes, I'm not hanging out with you. And so Titus says, Apollo is going to teach you some respect.
And Apollo kind of gave him the look like he always gives him.
Like, what?
Why am I doing this shit?
Yeah.
Up next, we had a promo with Goldust.
Shattered Dreams production.
Yes.
He was
back to
in
that.
The chair, wearing the makeup, or wearing the wig.
Yeah. It was kind of a throwback to, I guess, the 90s when he did his montages and whatnot. But yeah, and they basically ended saying the golden era is upon us, or back upon us, or something like that.
Yeah. I guess this means that he's going to be a singles wrestler.
I guess. How old is he? 50?
He's at least 50.
Yeah. I mean, he still can move in the ring and everything.
True. He's very nimble for an old man.
Yeah. But like you said beforehand, that we'll probably get him and R-Truth. Probably at Extreme Rules, honestly, pre-show.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Certainly makes it a lot easier to put a match on the pre-show.
Sure, unless we get one of those random matches where all of a sudden R-Truth and Goldust are against each other.
Well,
like with Curtis Axel and R-Truth.
That was weird. Was that Fastlane last year?
I don't remember. 2 years ago. It might have been, yeah.
But yeah. Up next was an Alexa Bliss interview about her match at Extreme Rules, and she basically just says that Bayley can't do Extreme.
Yeah, she kind of reiterated the same thing she said last week.
Yeah, she
the week
said
before.
the same thing.
Yeah, and it was kind of going on about, well, I guess how the match was, or what happens when you get the kendo stick, or was that what Bayley said? Did they have an interview with Bayley too?
I don't think so.
No, maybe it was just Alexa when she said the first person gets to use it first. Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she just mentioned the fact that she's wrestling Bayley's new friend, Mickey James, later on.
Mm-hmm. She'll teach her as well or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, typical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Up next, we had the Kalisto versus Apollo Crews match.
Yeah.
And this wasn't a very long match.
No. It wasn't terrible because, Apollo Crews is pretty athletic.
Oh, yeah, it was good for, I mean, like you said, they're both athletic, and they move around pretty well.
Kalisto picks up the win after a Salito del Sol.
Yes.
It's funny.
Titus was barking orders to him, right, the whole match?
Oh, he was yelling at him.
Yeah.
And he said,
get up, get on him.
Or something like that. So Crews looks over at him, and that's when Kalisto, I guess, takes advantage. Because Apollo had him in control, and he was going to pin him, and then Titus yelled at him.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when Kalisto ended up hitting the Salito del Sol.
Yeah.
And apparently Titus's losing ways have been rubbed off on Apollo.
Yes.
Hashtag make it a loss.
Yes.
All right, so up next we had Matt Hardy versus Sheamus, with the winner picking the stipulation for their match at Extreme. I'm thinking hopefully soon the blow off will be at Extreme Rules.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Because it like I mentioned the last time, or as we've been talking about the Hardys,
Yeah.
their matches are not ending any differently.
No, yeah, they've won every match.
And I was kind of joking when I said that.
Yeah.
So, because like every single Hardys match has ended exactly the same way.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is if Matt's by himself, there's no Swanton Bomb.
Right, yeah.
That's it.
And
it's like, it's insane.
That's how this match ended.
Exactly.
But yeah, so the winner of this match picked the stipulation for the match at Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
Like we said, Matt Hardy got the win here. I guess Sheamus went for the bro kick, and Matt Hardy ducked out of the way and rolled out of the ring. Mm-hmm. And I guess Jeff was like creeping around because he saw Cesaro coming, so he got up on the apron and kind of flipped over into him. And they looked like they hit heads. They banged. Yeah,
it was close.
As they were going down.
Yeah. And Sheamus kicked Jeff out of the way.
Right.
And then Matt grabbed him, hit him with the twist of fate, and that was it.
And then as they were going back up the entranceway, what was it? Charlie came out.
Probably. Yeah.
And said, "So what are you guys going to do?" And then they said, "We'll see you in a steel cage."
Yeah, that made no sense.
Yeah.
Like, there was so many things you could have done. You could have had a TLC match. You could have had a Hell in a Cell match. You could have had a ladder match.
It's true.
All of them would have been better.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they would have done a TLC just because
I guess
you have the
pay-per-view.
Yeah. That's the only reason I could see him not doing it.
I guess technically the same with the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
But they had a Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania last year.
They did. That is true.
So, I don't know. I guess the Undertaker doesn't count. Whatever.
But yeah, so steel cage.
Was not expecting steel cage.
No, not really.
Whatever.
I guess
at least it wasn't a chairs match.
Except for when Baron Corbin and Kalisto had that chairs match
on
SmackDown.
That was
pretty
different because Baron Corbin grabbed, or was it Kalisto grabbed all of the chairs?
Yeah, just threw him in the ring.
Yeah,
chairs for everybody.
All right. So up next was Austin Aries versus Tony Nese. And Neville kind of just followed Nese to the ring.
So weird. He just sits outside in the rolling chair.
Yeah, and he's the only one who ever sits out there.
Know.
It's just Neville.
Yeah.
Well, Aries came.
He did once, but that was only because Neville was out there.
Yeah, so it was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess Nese was working the ribs.
I think that's what it was. Yeah,
and Nese had Aries in a bear hug, and then Aries got him in a guillotine, and Nese knocked him off.
Right.
But then he held on,
right, and
he
flipped over and hit the last
chancery.
Yeah,
and that was the end of it.
That was it.
It was not a very long match. It wasn't bad, obviously, but
it's a cruiserweight match on Raw.
Yeah, so
your 3 to 5 minute match.
Exactly, and then after the match.
Aries left.
Oh yeah, that was
and he
weird.
was kind of taunting Neville. Or they were talking back and forth, and all of a sudden Neville just
turns and attacks Nese.
Oh, and then put him in the Rings of Saturn.
Yeah,
that's why, because their submission match is at their match. Yeah,
but that was just I guess Aries or Neville trying to show off, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah,
that's dumb.
Yeah, which I would assume this will be their blow off match.
I hope so.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if Aries won the title.
Well,
finally.
yeah. I didn't see 205 when you did, but I know what's his face came back last night.
Yeah, Cedric Alexander.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that's the thing is, he's not going to feud with Aries.
No.
So he could feud with
Neville.
Yeah, but who knows?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
next we had the Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James match.
Yes.
So yeah, this looked like a pretty nasty finish. It looked like Alexa Bliss hit her with the DDT for the win.
Yeah. Well, first she hit her with that really stiff right hand, right?
Yeah. She punched her and then turned around and hit her with the DDT. But it looked like when she had her down, her head actually went down. You know how usually they brace, the head's like a little bit between their arm and the ring, but it looked like she went head first into it.
That's possible.
So I guess it was weird because after the match, Alexa went outside the ring and she grabbed the kendo stick, and her and the referee were kind of making eye contact because I'm guessing she was looking to see if if Mickey was actually all right.
Uh-huh.
And then that's when she came back in the ring and cracked her over the back of the neck.
That did not look fun.
No. And then we saw the pictures, I think, earlier on, or
With
maybe it was
Bailey.
during that match. Yeah,
of Bailey. The back of her back the week before.
Yeah. But I think Mickey actually got a decent amount of offense in this match.
Oh yeah, it was a pretty good match. Mickey James always puts on good matches, and Alexa Bliss is pretty good too. So, but yeah, it was
Again, it was. I think Mickey's kind of in that tough spot where,
because
not much for her to do.
Exactly, she's kind of just like a tool being used in another person's feud. So, while she has the potential to be, in the main picture, but
no, I think I don't know. Maybe keeping her on SmackDown with the welcoming committee would have been. She would, a little bit more of a veteran heel on the team. Kind of give her a little more.
I don't think they wanted to make her a heel.
Yeah.
I think the only reason she was a heel was that initial storyline.
Right, for Alexa to bring her in.
Because she's not really a heel.
No.
Like, her character is not even close
That's
to
true.
being.
And her theme music and everything. Yeah, I guess you're right.
So, I think they were, okay, we'll have her team with Alexa to begin with, and then once they turn on each other, then
that's it.
Face for good.
Yeah.
Which is understandable.
Just trying to make sense of the women's division on SmackDown.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, Bailey runs out after the match because Bliss starts attacking Mickey with the kendo stick as well. She gets Bliss to drop the kendo stick, and then she gets
it, and then goes to hit her with it, but Alexa gets out of the ring in time and runs up the ramp, and that's it.
Yep.
At least they're doing a good job building this.
Yeah, well, they're doing something.
Yeah. And I don't think when was the last time we saw something on a pole match?
It's been a while.
Yeah, which I think we talked about this last week anyway.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm sure if we look it up, it's a lot more recent than we remember.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's been a while.
It's true.
Anyway, up next we have the main event.
Wow, you sound so enthusiastic.
It's the same crap every week.
Yeah, it's so tough. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you would do differently for the main event every week.
Well,
it seems like tag team matches are always big.
Yeah, but the hard part is the fact that they have 5 people in one storyline.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And they're so dead set on it has to be the main event being the main event.
Whereas, to open the show and close the show, it just seems,
Because, I'm sure they probably tried to do it, back, in the late 90s and the early 2000s. But I'm sure there's plenty of times where they didn't have the same formula.
Yeah.
Or it could have been that, there was some pay-per-views, or not pay-per-views, some shows where the main event of the show had nothing to do with the main title.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Because, like we said last week, was it, with the Intercontinental title match? Mm-hmm. That should have been the main event.
Oh,
it was the best match of the night. So
absolutely.
But they just have to...
Yeah, that or the Roman Finn match.
It was better than Bray and Rollins, yes.
Yeah.
So, but...
Especially because of the way it ended, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but, whatever.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So Bray Wyatt comes out first, and then surprise to us, Seth Rollins' music starts playing, and then
it just stops.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden Joe's music plays, and he comes out.
Because I had walked out of the room, and I walked back in the room, and Bray was just entering, and then I heard Rollins' music play. So I'm like, I guess Joe came out first.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, technical difficulties, whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So not too much happened in this match.
It wasn't. It was
typical.
Yeah, typical. Keeping the face down.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I think, on at least 2 separate occasions where they had where someone was in the ring and they had to get the hot tag.
Right. Yeah.
It happened at least twice.
Yeah, that's kind of just been their current formula, because that's what happened on SmackDown as well.
Well, yeah, but that it makes sense. It's just with the longer matches, you kind of have to.
Well, I guess for matches like this, otherwise during a regular tag team match, usually the hot tag either finishes it either depending on which side wins it, but
Yeah.
still, that's usually what the ending is.
But
Yeah.
well, it wasn't bad. Seth got in some good offense and
Mhm.
stuff. He did some of his. I
Right.
think at one point he did a suicide dive onto both of them,
Mhm.
Bray and Joe.
Yeah. We had one part where Roman was going for the Superman punch on Joe, right? And
Yeah.
he moved out of the way, and then they ended
Ran
up
right into Seth.
hitting each other, and then they start arguing, and Wyatt pulls Roman out of the ring, and Joe locks in the Coquina clutch on Rollins, and Rollins just passes out,
Yeah.
which should have been the ending for the payback pay-per-view. I think that's how they should have ended it, with
yeah.
Joe winning, but not Rollins not tapping out.
Yeah,
So
that would make
that would
more
have continued
sense.
the storyline.
Yeah. This feud I'm not a big fan of
Rollins and Joe.
because it's very samey all the time.
Well, I guess they were trying to continue the whole thing with Triple H because
Without having him on TV.
right, yeah.
So I don't know, whatever.
But yeah,
After Extreme Rules, it'll be a different story. Anyway.
yeah. So this was like 11 o'clock when this match ended, and I was like, wow, there's still time left.
Well, it was a little bit after.
Oh yeah. Okay, it was like 11:04.
Yeah. So, well, it's a big difference because sometimes
that's-
they usually cut off hard at 11:10,
Yeah.
but sometimes like there's been a couple episodes where they end at 11:05 or 11:06.
Yeah, because I know I gotta turn the TV off quick before one of those terrible shows comes on after. Fucking
It's like
Friday Night Tykes or some
yeah,
weird.
I think it's something like that.
So weird.
Yeah. Anyway, it's better than Chrisley.
That's true. That's true.
So they cut to backstage and Angle's watching the match apparently,
Yeah.
and he's doing the weird. I'm gonna look at it with half my face. And then
Finn walks up, right?
Balor
Yeah.
walks up to him and says, "Next week, don't leave me out."
Right. Yeah. Which is
It's
what
like,
we
I'm not gonna leave you out. You're gonna be in a triple
threat match with Samoa Joe and Bray Wyatt.
That was
which-
an interesting
yeah.
choice.
And then we're gonna get Roman versus Seth.
Yes,
So
that's good. You probably haven't seen that match a whole lot.
Roman and Seth.
Yeah.
Especially since they're both faces.
Well, I meant like historically.
Yeah. Would we see that at Money in the Bank last year, right?
Yeah, I think that might have
Been
been
the only
their-
time. Well, no. They were feuding too right before Rollins got hurt.
Yeah, but he didn't really get that many matches.
No.
Because you got to remember, it was okay. So he won at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, you remember how bad it was then?
Yeah.
Sheamus winning the title.
So I can't remember, but I know in July he fought Lesnar.
Yeah.
At SummerSlam he fought Cena,
Right. And then what
At
was that?
Night of
Night of
Champions,
Champions
he
he fought
fought
Sting. Yeah.
and then at
Well, no, didn't Night of Champions he fought Sting and Cena, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then at Hell in a Cell he fought Kane,
Right.
and then he got hurt.
Yeah.
So I
'Cause
don't
he was
think he
supposed
ever
to fight him at Survivor Series,
I
right?
think Roman was slated to
Oh yeah, because they had the Survivor Series, the tournament lead up, right?
Yeah. Well, I think the tournament was going to happen anyway, but the reasoning for the tournament changed when Rollins got hurt. So I really don't think Reigns actually got a title shot because I don't think he fought him at Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
I think Rowan was in that Money in the Bank match.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was just last year's Money in the Bank where they fought.
Mhm.
That was it.
So
We will see it next week.
it's true.
So yeah, this has been our Raw recap.
Yes. If you liked what you see here, please like, share, and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.